All right. So, apparently, with the latest starter guide trailer for Jacko, there also came along patch notes. Now, the patch doesn't come out until tomorrow, but they gave us patch notes ahead of time for us to read. Thank you, Arc System Works. Mortal Kombat 11, shame on you. Anyways, so, yeah, let's go over the patch notes. So, alright, typical gameplay fixes, some issues, some bugs, everything like that. This is where we all want to look at for everybody who's playing this game and for everybody's mains. It's the balance patches for each character. Let's of course go with my main, Chipp. Alright, so right here it says that Chipp, as there is too much difference in facing opponents who can anti-air his aerial 2K, it is now easier for anti-airs to hit him during descent. Now, I'm not saying it was impossible to anti-air 2K, but not a lot of very people can do it, especially those who definitely tried. So now it's easier to anti-air it. So for those of you Chipp players, you're gonna have to be careful spamming this jump 2K, because people can anti-air a lot easier. But if you're tricky enough, you can still land it. Because if you do land it, he is now left more advantageous on position and block, so he's even more plus, and he's even closer, so his 2K is not gonna whiff anymore once he lands. So his offense is gonna be much more oppressive if you let him. So again, with Chipp, fighting against Chipp, you have to have good defense. If you do not know how to defend against Chipp, you will be eaten up. So that's nice, where I like this. They put a nerf but a buff to balance it out. See, these are balanced patches. Mortal Kombat 11, once again, shame on you guys. Arc System Works, good job. So the lower part of his far standing S has been reduced. So therefore, other moves can be low profile. 6P attacks can now hit his far standing S. I'll admit his far standing S is probably really cancerous at the start. It's very fast, very long reach. Now at least, other low profiling moves and 6P can, hit it a lot easier now. So something a little bit more to, counter his, his neutral, since he could, reach so far with the far standing S, and it's so fast too. But again, they balance that out by making his 2S or his crouching S even longer reach. Now it's extended his 2S. Now it's not a low, but the fact that it's longer reach makes it that his 2S to 2H string is just that much more deadly. So again, a balance, you got a buff and you get a nerf. So this is really, really awesome. And then of course they have like, a summarized version of it here. So far standing S, reduced lower hitbox. Crouching S made more easily affected by dash momentum. So you dash and you do that, so it's really, really good. And of course the aerial 2K has been adjusted. Alright, next we have Soul here. Soul, change focus on differentiating the properties of his normal as well situation after his special moves on block. Okay. So this is the one that needed the most balancing, because Soul was, let's admit, he's the most busted character in this game. I used Soul before too, and when I played Soul, it was literally playing the game on easy mode. Anyway, so hitbox of far S has been decreased. Oh, whoo! That far, okay, yeah, that 6S was a nightmare. Holy moly. Okay, whoo! Thank goodness. Make it more likely to lose to low profiling moves and 6Ps. Thank goodness. Crouching S is not used very frequently. It's been buffed. Okay, good. See, another balance right there. All right. Added knockback to his far standing S. Okay, so more knockback, so we can't just keep spamming that because it is plus on block. Although the change is minimal when blocked normally, it has a major impact when blocked with faultless defense. All right. So if you faultless defense his far standing S, now you're not going to be in so much, of nightmarish pressure anymore. Okay. Knockback on crouching K has been decreased. Okay, all right, I like that. Make it easier to combo to 2D or sweeping dust. All right. S version of Volcanic Viper has the active time extended, making it more viable as an anti-air attack. I mean, it wasn't a problem before, but okay. Increased active time makes the attack longer overall and now leaves Soul more open to attacks and whip and block. See, another balance. It's buffed in a way where it's a better anti-air, but it's nerfed in a way where you can actually punish this a lot easier now. And it's true, even though it is punishable if you do see it coming. If you do see it, slash version of Volcanic Viper whiff and on reaction, it's not the easiest to punish. So definitely a lot. a lot, you know, more options there. So another balance. I like this. These are actually balances. After blocking Bandit Bringer, it's difficult for players to predict what would happen. It's now easier to put distance between Soul and the opponent after it's been blocked. Situations less likely to be impacted by the start of time or opponent's close range attacks. Okay, so Bandit Bringer, so that's more pushback now. So with more pushback, definitely safer, but because of the more pushback, you can't just spam standing K or 5K with Soul after the Bandit Bringer is blocked. So okay. Although Wild Throw is distinguished by its invincibility to throws, it was used less frequently than Soul's standard throw. It is now possible to follow up with the Roman Cancel when it lands. You can Roman Cancel after Wild Throw. Alright. Change the Mob Cemetery's command is to avoid issues when inputting Tyrant Rave. Alright, so it just makes heavy Mob Cemetery a lot easier. His Dragon install super. So, alright, okay, so Kai, it's easier for both of his hits of summon to connect from long range now. Yeah, it's true. Stun Dipper, the first hit would connect, second hit would whiff. So nice. More viable to get damage from his pokes at mid-range. Compared to Crouching S, his far standing S had few distinct advantages. It's now easier to use as a way to approach the opponent from long range. Alright, so his neutral's a lot better. It was already really good, but that's even better. By choosing the right time to use this move or to use Crouching S to stop opponent's approach, Kai is now capable of strong ground neutral while taking limited risk. He already didn't have that many, but okay. Dragon Assault now increases the tension gauge after a set period of time, as do overdrives. Alright, as it greatly increases Kai's average damage output after activation, we had intended to be a valuable option, but it resulted in the move being underpowered and not used very frequently. True, I keep forgetting there is a Dragon install for Kai. This caused us to reevaluate, including buffs to the activation. The change to Ride the Lightning's command is to avoid issues with accidental inputs. Alright, so yeah, Dragon install and Ride the Lightning have been made so that it's going to be easier to input. So these inputs are going to be a little bit easier now. Alright. Mei, oh my gosh. Her standing heavy slash had much stronger, shorter range than her S attack despite having a lot of recovery. We reduced the recovery and improved the attack's active time. My goodness gracious, that anchor is already a nightmare. This makes it very effective at preventing an opponent's approach during neutral. You already can't approach her. We also reduced the lower hitbox and hurtbox for her far standing S and reduced the active time of her crouching S. It is now more vital to choose which of her normals you use for a given situation. You mean aside from her jumping heavy slash witches, that's all she used. Overhead kiss could only be followed up in the corner, however, it can be followed up mid-screen with adjustments made to the damage. Oh my goodness gracious. So Mei has been buffed. Yikes. This is going to be a nightmare. Axl. It was hard for Axl to get significant returns from his standing P and crouching P from mid-range despite the risk of them losing out to the opponent's attacks. They can now combo into Snail even on a grounded hit. Alright, okay, you can combo better with Axl now. It's now easier to use one vision in combos as the ready stance can be cancelled into from special moves. Ah, okay, so his, his Zawarudo or his time freeze can now be cancelled from special moves now. Alright, that's pretty cool. It's a Nagoriyuki property. Alright. It's now easier to make use of a situation where the Roman cancel could not lead to big follow-ups such as from long range, or when moving during the time stop would make an opportunity for a wall break combo. Alright, so his time freeze is now a lot better to make it more used. True, I barely ever use the time stop, others barely use time stop as well. Alright. And of course, his snail, it's a startup attack has been sped up and you can combo from it now. So that's really good. Nice. Potemkin, we've greatly increased the merit of making the opponent block Heat Knuckle. Okay? It is now more difficult for the opponent to punish Potemkin when the opponent blocks the latter half of the active frames of 6k. Alright, this makes it a viable method of approaching opponents in mid-range. I mean, Potemkin already had godly reach already, but I guess, this is better. So another buff. So there's a lot of buffs here. Alright, Faust, let's see if he's no longer loused. Bone crushing excitement causes wall break on hit in the corner. Alright. This benefits Faust's extra damage output and tension gauge gain. Alright, so a little buff for Faust right there. It's now easier for Faust to prevent the opponent's approach using his improved standing heavy slash. Alright, this greatly increases pressure at mid-range when combined with the increase to his crouching slash hitbox and the faster startup for his aerial 2k. Alright, so Fast is now a little bit faster and has a little bit more reach. So yeah, definitely Faust is a little stronger in the neutral now. I wouldn't say this is a significant buff, but definitely now Faust's neutral game is a little bit stronger now. And neutral game is definitely what you need, you know, when you're playing, you know, Guilty Gear Strive. Millia, all right, Millia, my bay here. Okay, in order to make her ground attacks more viable, the recovery of her standing heavy slash has been reduced. All right, her special moves that can be cancelled into from normals have been buffed. Her specials have been buffed. Nice. S version of Tandem Talk can now be used in combos. Optic confirms. All right, cool. So you can use that a little bit more now instead of the heavy slash version. She can now go on the offense with less risk due to being able to link some normals into Lush Shaker at close range in a continuous block string. Okay, Lush Shaker. I don't see a lot of people using the Lush Shaker. You know, that rapid fire attack that Millia does? You can now use this now on block now, so it becomes a little bit more of, you know, a good neutral poking tool for definitely those who like to mash a lot. So a nice little grounded buff for Millia, because Millia was already good in the air. Now she's stronger on the ground now too. Zato. Okay, Zato, we've mainly improved his options when he cannot summon Eddie. Okay, that's actually a good buff, because when you don't summon Eddie, or when Eddie's not out, or when he's in recovery, you know, when you can't summon him, Zato doesn't have that many options. So hearing that, that's really good. So his standing heavy slash significantly buffed, making it a strong choice to prevent the opponent's approach. All right, that's cool. 6P now blows the opponent back on regular hit, making him more reliable as a choice to take control from the opponent. Because true, you do want that distance, you know, from Zato, so Zato can, you know, set up his other moves and then reclose the distance again. It can now combo into standing P at close range. Ooh, standing P combo. All right, nice. All right. So we have 214 heavy slash while Eddie is summoned. Fix a bug where Eddie could take other actions mid-air during a leap. Okay, so bug fix. However, the ability to use this using Sun Void Roman Cancel remains. All right, so a little bit of a buff to Zato when Eddie's not around, you know, so definitely more options for Zato to, you know, work around with whenever Eddie's out, whenever, you know, the gauge has been depleted, or when they do hit Eddie and so Eddie's in recovery. So yeah, definitely a buff to Zato's game when Eddie's not out. So nice, another buff. Okay, Ram increased the forward movement of Daruro. Okay, all right, it can now be used in mid-screen combos more easily. All right, so you can combo with that now. That's cool. So Aggressa or Donor can now lead to knockdown against ground opponents on hit, greatly increasing the benefit of landing a hit with it. Okay, sure. Nice. On the other hand, it's now easier for her aerial heavy slash to lose the anti-airs. Oh my goodness, that's a balance right there. Due to the increase in its hitbox and hurtbox on both sides, the player now needs to consider when to use her various aerial options. So you can't spam, you know, jump heavy slash anymore. All right, the hitbox on that was godlike on Ram, so now that's been reduced. But at least her other moves have been buffed. So again, buffs and nerfs balanced. All right, what does Leo got here? Leo doesn't have a lot here. Okay. Increases option during his back stance. Okay, making it easier to open up the opponent's defenses. The mechanics have been adjusted that he will always move towards the opponent when using the dash button. Okay. As he would previously have mistaken move away from the opponent. So like a little bug fix. Okay. Can be dash or jump canceled. Okay, K during... Okay, alright. Interesting. You can now cancel after K. So that low kick after the back stance. So this definitely gives Leo a lot more mix-up options, a lot more mobility options as well. So all right, okay, nice. Nice little buff for Leo, but not in the way to, you know, make him busted, just to help him out with more options. So I actually like this buff. All right, Nagoriyuki, big brain boy. Okay, depending on the situation after the first hit of Wasurayuki, it would sometimes not go into the rest of the animation. This led to the technique to secure follow-up damage by hitting with the edge of the attack, but also make a disadvantage when hitting with the back of the attack. We have made it so that it will not occur when the back of the attack hits, so it can be followed up with more combos. Okay, more combo confirms. The follow-up from his far standing S makes it easy to decrease the blood gauge. Alright, so using the sword now will decrease the blood gauge even further, so therefore this, like, I guess, I'm not saying that this makes Nagoriyuki easier to use, but there were times where, like, it just seemed like a little unfair that Nagoriyuki's blood gauge would increase so much and then using the sword would decrease it only so little. So you have to be really careful. Now you can at least be a little bit more oppressive, because more of the blood gauge now decreases when the follow-up from the far standing slash or his, his 5S is now able to reduce the blood gauge a little bit more. So Nago players is definitely a good buff for you and will make him a little bit more popular to be used now instead of the people who just stuck with him since day one. So a nice little change for Nagoriyuki. Giovanna, she can now combo into her 6P for moves such as Standing P. Okay, so her 6P is now comboable. You can now cancel into her 6P now. So nice. Combo situations such as punishing opponent, nice. When the final hit of 6H connects, she is now in a better situation for Oki. Alright, okay, nice. There's now merit to choosing not to cancel into a special move depending on the situation. Alright, so she has more Oki options now. So Giovanna's pressure is now a lot more oppressive, so that's good. More combo options, so nice little buff for Giovanna, but nothing to make her completely like overpowered. So this is a nice little change for Giovanna. Anji. Okay, I want to see what they have for my secondary here, which everybody says he's a bad character, which I do not believe that, because he's very strong and I like using him, and I feel very powerful with him. You can now mix up opponents blocking and mid-range using Fujin because the motion occurs before the attack is active. Okay, interesting. We have reduced the risk of using his far slash as a poke by reducing the recovery. All right, you can get better damage odds of his standing heavy slash due to the slight increase to the forward movement of Fujin. So they buff Fujin. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, Issei Ogisai has been buffed, man, so it's easier to cause wall break. Okay, all right. So nice buff for Anji. I mean, he was already really good. Everybody is saying he is bad. Please don't believe that. I do not believe it. I've used Anji myself. He is my secondary, and I do not believe he's bad. But yeah, like, so nice little buffs to Anji, and so now Fujin is gonna be much more spammable now. Ino was oh my gosh. The movement of her grounded and aerial hover dash has been buffed. As if that needed a buff, but okay, whatever. Expanded her options for both Oki and neutral, so it just makes it easier to do her technical vortex. All right. The changes to her normal, such as standing heavy slash and the heavy slash version of stroke the big tree, create additional opportunities for combos and increase her pressure at close range. After she needed that, now she's just a little bit easier to use now. Ultimate Fortissimo has been buffed, meaning so it's easier to cause a wall break. Okay, so I won't lie, although she does have like a crazy vortex that's almost impossible to escape from, now it's a little bit easier to perform, because I'll admit it's actually very technical. I actually did have to practice Ino's vortex to get it down correctly, because if you don't know how to do it, you can't just get it off intuition. It's a little bit more difficult than that, but now it's a little bit easier to do so. So doing Ino's vortex has just made it that a lot more people are definitely gonna be pick up Ino, because there's not a lot of Ino players, but the ones who do know how to play Ino, they were really good with Ino. Now it's just going to be an easier time for them now. So definitely going to be easier for me to, pull off her vortex as well. So cool. Okay, Goldlewis. The hit effect of Skyfish is now buffed depending on the current security level. All right, so his Gatling has been buffed depending on the security level now. All right. It provides a major advantage at hit level 3 in particular. Oh, so it's plus on block at level 3. Okay. Adjustments to Crouching K and 6P are minor, but improve their usability. True, his 6P was not the most usable. Crouching K was not the most usable either. So nice little buffs for Goldlewis in neutral. All right. Nice. This is really good. So this is a very detailed patch note. This is the first patch note for Guilty Gear, first balance patch, and this was so detailed, and they actually took a lot into consideration. And this is not like winners or losers and all that. Literally everybody got a buff and maybe a slight nerf. But overall, this was a true balance. This was a good balance patch. So Arc Systems, bravo for this. I think everybody who's a main of any of the characters are going to be very happy with these changes. This just makes the game good, slight changes, but doesn't feel like it completely destroyed or broke or changed the game completely. It just made the game a little bit more fun. And like, oh my gosh, like this is really Arc System, good on you for providing us with information even before it comes out so that we can read upon it and talk about it. Once again, Mortal Kombat 11, shame on you. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Let me all know what you think of the balance changes. Are you happy? Are you sad? Did your main get a good balance change? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thanks to all the members of the Nitro Ninjas. This is your Grandmaster NikkNitro. Stay awesome, my ninjas.